one of the best business stories we've had in America, guys. Let me tell you why. You guys started in 77. You were a potter, and Jerry he got rejected from medical school. The two of you guys decided to start a bagel shop, but the bagel machine was too high. You enrolled in a $5 ice cream making course instead. You guys took that a year later, created Ben & Jerry's with $12,000, and you turned that into a machine. You sold it in, I don't know what year it was, for $326 million, like 25 years ago or something.
That's right.
And then today, Ben & Jerry's, just so you guys know how much ice cream the founders started in ice cream. They do $1 billion of sales a year right now.
Amazing.
So the question then becomes, how do you, who has made his money as a capitalist, support a socialist? How does that work out? I'm really curious.
I think there's social democracies. I mean, I don't think socialism is opposed to capitalism. I think there's a way of doing capitalism that kind of cares about people, that has a better safety net, that is not so rapacious. I mean, what we have in the U.S. is unfettered capitalism, and what ends up happening when you have that is a tremendous spread between rich and poor. When Jerry and I started Ben & Jerry's, the spread between CEO pay and line level workers' pay was 40-1, and we thought that's outrageous. So we had a lower one. We came up with the 5-1 ratio.
Yeah, that's interesting, by the way.
And that's changed over time. But
so today, it's no longer 5-1 at Ben & Jerry's.
But today, the salary ratio between CEOs and line level employees is 400-1, and we're in a situation where, I don't know, what is it, 0.1% of the wealthiest people in the country own 90% of the wealth.
Which you're part of it. You're part of the 0.1%.
I'm part of it, but I'm against it.
What do you mean you're a part of it, but you're against it?
Well, I am one of the, I'm a wealthy person.
Yeah.
But I'm against the system that creates such a spread between rich and poor.
Why though?
Because poor people are getting screwed.
But why? But why though?
Because why am I against it?
No. Why? So okay. So please help me understand this. So at first you start Ben & Jerry's. And I saw that where you guys were doing 5-1 ratio, meaning if the lowest level employee full-time was making $30,000 a year, the CEO couldn't make $150 a year, right? That was at the time.
Correct.
What do you think the ratio is right now at Ben & Jerry's?
I really have no idea.
Would you say it's 1 in 40? Do you?
It might be.
But you work there, so you know what the CEOs make. You know what kind of money is making. You probably have the context in there. Let's just say the CEO of a company, like if I go right now, Rob, can you find out who is the CEO of Ben & Jerry's? I don't even know it. Ben & Jerry's CEO, salary. I don't know what it is. I've never Googled it. Let's just see.
I'm interested. I've never Googled it either.
Okay, so Ben & Jerry's salary, CEO, back in 2000, we're talking...
That was at the time that the company got sold.
But at the time, the salary was 504. 25 years ago, it was 504. Okay, so which became 17-1. All right, so I want you to follow this. So what you just said is I'm just responding to what you said.
Yeah.
So Ben & Jerry's got started. You guys wanted to be very noble and, hey, we're not going to pay anybody at the highest level 5 times more than the lowest level employee. Lowest level makes 30, highest level makes 150. Okay, cool. Nice guys, noble guys. By 2000, you build a business that's doing $200 million a year. You guys are selling it for 326. Then the CEO pay was 17 times the lowest amount the employee was making. So that disparity went from 5-1 to 17-1. Let's say today, who is today's CEO of Ben & Jerry's?
Dave Stever.
Is it Dave Stever? What is Dave Stever's salary at Dave Stever salary Ben & Jerry? Right, if I go to it, I wish I could see it. I wish it was public. It's not showing it. But let's just say he's making a couple million a year. You guys are a billion.
I don't think he is.
Does he get stocks? Does he get shares? Does he get bonus? Does he get LTIP? Does he get...
I don't think so. I would think that,
But if it was 500,000 25 years ago, Ben, it's not going to be less than 25 years ago. So the only reason I'm showing,
I believe it probably is, but I don't know. I don't have.
I know, but well, let's just say it's $1 million. Let's say conservatively it's $1 million. And let's say the ratio now instead of 17-1 is 30-1. So you guys started off 5-1. It went 17-1. Let's say it's 30-40-1 now. And then at the time you're saying 40-1 was what it was in the corporate world. Now it's 400-1. You guys have 10x, they have 10x. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with if you're creating value? Ben, you guys did something that's very difficult. Do you know how many people in America build a business from scratch that go from $0 to $1 billion in sales?
Not
Do you know
many.
how? Oh, Ben, what you've done is called doing the impossible. And I think the market should recognize you for it, your level of creativity. So that's the part. Do you think like when you guys originally started and you're building a business and you and your partner, you guys are two nice guys, Potter and a guy that was rejected from medical school, you built something with a $5 course that you take on making ice cream, and at first maybe you guys coming from a place of socialistic ideologies, and then now you're kind of like, well, maybe capitalism's kind of cool, and there's nothing wrong with capitalism. Have you gone through that evolution yet or not yet?
I think that there's a form of capitalism that works well.
Okay.
You know, we've always been a capitalistic country. My understanding is that when Reagan took office, the marginal tax rate on the highest level was like 80%. I mean,
which nobody paid for. Just so you know that they had it, but no one ever paid it. No, really,
Why?
no one ever paid it. It was what they talked about, but everybody adjusted in ways so nobody, even like people would do certain jobs, so they never paid the highest marginal tax rate.
Well, whatever, but I mean that's the idea.
Right.
That's what kind of makes sense to me.
It's to have it at 80%.
Well, you know, what is it now? What's the top marginal bracket? What is
If you live in California, you're paying nearly 60%, but let's just say 43%.
Right.
You think that's too little?
I think that the system that has created such disparity between rich and poor, and that's part of it. So, no, I don't think that works. I think a lot of people in this country are being left behind. I think 50% of the country is getting screwed economically.
Why though?
Because of laws and regulations that favor wealth.
Such as what? You're a rich man.
What is there? There's lower taxes on capital gains, right?
But why though?
Those who don't work,
who don't work
pay less taxes.
Let me ask you a question. When you sold, you paid capital gains, no?
Sure.
No, you did. When you sell a company, you didn't pay ordinary income. You pay capital gains taxes. So you guys sell for $326. Let's just say at the time you own 80%. I don't know what percent.
I didn't.
Okay, but let's just say whatever it is, you still are a 9-figure guy. You made real money. Each of
How
you
many
guys.
figures?
9 figures, like 100 million plus.
No, I'm 8 figures.
Okay, but guess what you are? You're still very rich compared to the average person. But here's a question for you: How hard?
I don't need that much money. I can tell you that.
Give it away.
I give a lot of it away.
Give all of it away. Just keep $500,000 of it.
Eventually.
Well, why don't you do while you're alive?
I'm working on it.
But why don't you do it sooner?
I don't know. I haven't
Because
found a
you
good.
shouldn't do it. You've earned it. Ben, you worked your ass off. You're
there's
hero.
a lot of people that are working their ass off. The whole bottom 50% of the country is working their asses off and getting paid shit.
What's the difference between them and you?
What's the difference between them and me? You know, there's some luck involved. There was a good idea at the right time.
What's the longest vacation you took in the first 10 years of building Ben & Jerry's?
Not much.
Oh, really? Why not? Other people who have jobs can take longer vacations. Why didn't you take it?
I guess I chose to build the business.
And therefore, you made the money that you made. Most people don't want to work as hard as you did. What you did was very difficult, Ben. You got to give yourself credit for it. So to me, you know, I understand the concept of, you know, well, the rich people are this and the rich is getting richer, the poor is getting poorer, and questioning that. But the reason why you make a lot more money than some of the people that you're saying are left behind, you solved a bigger problem. You kept trying to find creative ways of coming out with different, flavors of the ice cream. You guys kept trying to be creative, and you worked your ass off. And the market finally said, did these guys really build a business from zero to doing $200 million a year? Yes. Holy shit, let's buy it from them. And then now, after they bought it from you 25 years ago, it was doing $200 million. Now it's doing $1 billion a year. You know what that says? You guys built such a good business that somebody, after they bought it, they made 5 times the amount of money. That's a real business. That's not easy to do. Nowadays, more than ever, the brand you wear reflects and represents who you are. So for us, if you wear a Future Looks Bright hat or a Valuetainment gear, you're telling the world, I'm optimistic. I'm excited about what's going to be happening, but you're a free thinker. You question things. You like debate. And by the way, last year, 120,000 people got a piece of Future Looks Bright gear with Valuetainment. We have so many new things. The cufflinks are here. New Future Looks Bright. This is my favorite, the green one. Just yesterday, somebody placed an order for 100 of these. If you watch the PBD podcast, you got a bunch to choose from. White ones, black ones. If you smoke cigars and you come to our cigar lounge, we have this high quality lighter cutter and a holder for the cigars. We got sweaters with the Valuetainment logo on it. We got mugs. We got a bunch of different things. But if you believe the future looks bright, if you follow our content and what we represent with Valuetainment, with PBD Podcast, go to vtmerch.com. And by the way, if you order right now, there's going to be a special VT gift inside just for you. So again, go to vtmerch.com, place your order, tell the world that you believe the future looks bright. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.